Welcome. Thanks everyone for being here. We'll get started shortly. We just got a few people in our waiting room. So we're just letting everyone in. Thank you for your patience. Awesome to see everyone so on time for this. We got a big group tonight, so thanks everyone. Welcome to our E12 How to Apply and Promote Yourself workshop, everyone. We'll begin shortly. We're just waiting for a few more people to come in from the waiting room, so just bear with us. Welcome everyone. We'll begin shortly, just letting a few more people in from the waiting room. Big welcome to you all to our How to Apply and Promote Yourself workshop. Thanks for joining us this evening. We'll give it another minute or so and then we'll get started. We're just waiting for a few more people to come through. We've got a nice big group this evening. Welcome everyone. Give it a few more seconds. Welcome to our How to Apply and Promote Yourself E12 workshop. We're just waiting on a few more participants to come through our waiting room and then we'll begin shortly. Nice to have everyone here. Welcome everyone. Give it a few more seconds and then we'll kick off. Welcome to our E12 How to Apply and Promote Yourself workshop. If you can just pop yourself on mute when you hop into the meeting, that would be fantastic if you haven't done so already. Alrighty, I think we've got most people in, so we might kick off. Welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. We're really excited to have you here and to have such a big group. We hope that you find this session helpful. This is our How to Apply and Promote Yourself workshop. My name's Charlotte. I'm an Outreach and Access Assistant here at the University of Sydney, and joining us this evening, we have a fantastic group of our staff and student ambassadors who are here to assist you in writing your E12 application. So thanks everyone for being here. Before we get into the formalities, I'd like to start by acknowledging the tradition of custodianship and law of country on which the University of Sydney campuses stand. So I'm in the office today and coming to you from the land of the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation. I'd like to pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging, and also acknowledge any Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people that we have here in the meeting with us today. I'd like to acknowledge that sovereignty was never ceded and this always was and always will be Aboriginal land. Alrighty, so we're going to kick off by doing a little bit of an E12 overview. And then for the second half of the workshop today, you're going to be joined by our fantastic staff and student ambassadors who are going to take you through our Promote Yourself workshop, where you'll have an opportunity to hear more from them about answering our 3 E12 questions and have all your questions about E12 answered. So you might notice we don't have any Q&A functions set up. If you can hold your questions until you hop into the breakout rooms, that would be fantastic. And one of our staff and student ambassadors will be there online to answer your questions for you. So hold until the end. And if there's anything that we can't answer during that time, please come back to us and let us know. So a bit of an overview of what E12 is. So E12 is our admissions pathway, and it's for students who have been financially disadvantaged during their schooling or have attended a rural or regional school. So basically E12 shifts the focus from your ATAR and provides an opportunity for you to tell us a little bit about yourself. So we want to know about your extracurricular activities and some of the things that you do outside of school. So what are some of the benefits of E12? So if you're successful in your application for E12, in your first year, you receive a $5,950 scholarship. You receive an early conditional offer to a place at the University of Sydney with a lower minimum ATAR requirement, and we'll go through some of those ATARs shortly. And you'll receive your offer in mid-November. So that's before your HSC results are released. And a formal UAC offer in the main round. So if you achieve the E12 ATAR and meet any of the other additional admission criteria for your course. There's also the Vice Chancellor's Global Mobility Award. So that's up to $5,000 for eligible exchanges. So if you're interested in going on exchange, that might be for you. And there's the University of Sydney Union Access Rewards membership. We also ensure that E12 students have consideration for a range of additional faculty and accommodation equity scholarships. And in 2022, all of our E12 students actually got university gym membership. So we're hoping to continue that for 2023 for new students coming through the program. So in terms of, I guess, one of the main benefits of E12, so it's actually a reduced or lowered ATAR. So if you're made an early conditional offer via E12, the ATAR that you need for the course is actually lower than the ATAR that you would have needed to achieve if you were seeking admission outside of the E12 scheme. So you can see some examples on the screen. So the Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Advanced Studies, the guaranteed ATAR is 80. However, the E12 ATAR becomes 70. So if you hop onto our website under the E12 section, you'll be able to see a full list of all of our E12 ATARs, and we've actually just updated some of these new courses. So we have over 90 courses that are offered under E12. So they fall under all of our faculties: architecture, design and planning, business, arts and social sciences, education and social work, law, science, music, engineering and IT, and medicine and health. And you'll notice really fantastic, exciting news that psychology has now actually been included as one of our E12 courses in 2022. So the Bachelor of Psychology Honours, the guaranteed ATAR for that one is 96, and the E12 ATAR is 93. And our Bachelor of Psychology E12 ATAR is reduced to 80. And we've also finalised some medicine and health degrees ATARs as well. So if you check on our website, you'll be able to see some that were previously under review have now been finalised. So a full list of those E12 ATARs is on our website. There's also some other faculty equity scholarships that are available. So one example of that is our Inspired by Business program. So if you're considering applying for E12 through the Bachelor of Commerce or the Bachelor of Commerce and Advanced Studies, you'll have an opportunity to apply for the Inspired by Business program. So basically all you need to do is apply for E12 and preference an eligible business course within your list of 5 preferences. So whether that's the Bachelor of Commerce or the Bachelor of Commerce Advanced Studies. Shortlisted applicants will then be invited to attend an interview for the program. And some of the benefits include $10,000 per year for the duration of your undergraduate business degree. And there's also access to some mentoring opportunities and additional support from the business school. Alrighty, before we jump into eligibility, we wanted to test your knowledge of the first little section of the workshop, and we're going to ask you a few questions. So we're going to pop a poll up on the screen and get you to answer some questions about some uni lingo or some things that you might have heard over the last few slides. So we'll see if the poll pops up. No, we might have some issues with our poll. Nope. Okay, what we might do is raised hands. So I'm going to ask you 2 questions, and let's see if we can get a majority of people answering these questions. So our first question is, what is an early conditional offer? So can we get raised hands if you think it's my formal offer to the University of Sydney? So that's A. Yep, so we got 1, got a few raised hands for that one. Okay. The second option is an offer guaranteeing my place as long as I meet all the conditions and eligibility criteria of my preferred course. So pop your hand down if you pick the first one, and then up if you think it's the second one. Oh, that looks like the winner. We've got lots of hands up. Lots and lots of hands up. Alrighty, and the third option is an offer to the Prep for Sydney Uni course. So if you think it's the last one, pop your hand up. Awesome. Fantastic, everyone. Thank you. Our number 2 was the winner. So fantastic. I think that was the majority of you that answered that one. So a formal offer to the University of Sydney is an offer guaranteeing your place as long as you meet any of the conditions and eligibility for the course that you're interested in studying. Alrighty, so next question is, what is an unconditional offer? So our first answer, if you think it's this one, pop your hand up. My formal offer to the University of Sydney that is ready for me to accept. Yep, few hands for that one. Great. Fantastic. Alrighty, pop your hands down. Second option is an offer guaranteeing my place as long as I meet all the conditions and eligibility criteria of my preferred course. So if you think it's option 2, pop your hand up. Yeah, we've got a few less for that one. Nice. Alrighty. And third, an offer to the Prep for Sydney Uni course. If anyone thinks it's that, pop your hand up. Few for that. Fantastic, everyone. Good to see answers coming through. So an unconditional offer is a formal offer to the University of Sydney that's ready for you to accept. So your conditional offer means you still need to meet any eligibility criteria for your course. And then once you do that, you'll be made an unconditional offer. And that basically means it's your formal offer that's ready for you to accept. So thanks, everyone. Fantastic work. Alrighty, we'll move on to the next section, which is on E12 eligibility. So there's 3 criteria for E12 eligibility. So the first one is experiencing financial hardship, or at the time of your UAC application, if you reside in an area determined by the ABS as being in the lowest 25% of socioeconomic status in Australia, or if you attend an Australian rural or regional school during year 11 or year 12. So we'll go through each in a bit more detail. So for the socioeconomic index, basically how you would determine your E12 eligibility for this is you complete a UAC application for undergraduate admission. So basically what you do is log into UAC, complete your undergraduate application. Within your undergraduate application, what you need to do is include your home address. So once you've done that, within 48 hours of you completing that UAC application, UAC will contact you via correspondence email within your application. I'll show you a picture of that in a second. And they'll notify you if you are eligible for what's called the Educational Access Scheme. So what happens is they automatically generate an Educational Access Scheme for you. And this is for AGO1, which is basically the code that identifies you, that you live within that area. So this application is automatically generated for you by UAC and you don't need to do anything further. What that means is once UAC has generated that application for you, you receive notification. That means that you're then eligible to apply for E12. So what that looks like is basically when you hop onto your homepage of UAC, they'll be able to notify you through this quick link. So where it says your correspondence, this is where your UAC will notify you if they've automatically generated an EAS application for you. So you basically just click on this quick link and it will take you through to something that looks like this. So this is basically what UAC would send you to notify you that they've generated an Educational Access Scheme application for you. And you can see in bold here, it says no action is required by you because they've automatically generated the application for you. So that's the first eligibility criteria. The second eligibility criteria is if you attend a rural or regional school. So again, quite similar, you complete a UAC application and you need to list the school that you attended in year 11 and year 12. So you pop that in your UAC application. UAC then looks at that and will notify you by email within 48 hours again if they believe that you reside in a rural or regional school, and they will automatically generate an EAS application on your behalf. So very similar to the first process, you pop in your school address and they'll determine if you meet that eligibility criteria. This means that you're again eligible for E12, and it will look very similar to the previous UAC generated application. So they'll send you notification that looks a little bit like this again. So expect it sort of within 48 hours after you've put in your UAC application. The final E12 eligibility is financial hardship, and this is a little bit different in terms of the process from the first two. So basically, in order to meet the financial hardship categories under EAS, there's 4 different codes or 4 different categories. And you just need to hop onto UAC and check that you meet these categories or codes. So basically, I'll take you through what they are. So there's 4. So FO1A is if you're receiving youth allowance, Oz study or AB study. FO1B is if you're receiving other Centrelink means tested benefits, so that might be disability support pension. FO1C is for exceptional financial hardship, and FO1D is if your family is receiving family tax benefit Part A. So when you submit your application through UAC, basically they will provide information as to what supporting documentation that you would need to provide as part of your application. So in terms of submitting all your application and documentation, that's through UAC. And the portal on UAC, I'll show you some information on just a little bit later. In terms of E12 eligibility, so as well as meeting the 3 criteria that we just spoke about, you also need to undertake the HSC or IB at a New South Wales high school, be a domestic student, so unfortunately international students aren't able to apply, be supported by your school principal, and able to meet any other additional admission criteria. So as we spoke about earlier, that means if your course requires any additional admission criteria, things like mathematics prerequisite or that sort of thing, you would need to meet that in order to be eligible for an E12 course. And there's more details on our website about E12 eligibility, so feel free to check that out after today as well. So in terms of how to apply, so basically starting your UAC application for undergraduate admission is the first step. So make sure that you pop your home address in there and your school address to see if you're eligible for those 2 categories, so the socioeconomic indexes, or if you attend a rural or regional school category. UAC will notify you within 48 hours if you are eligible under those 2 categories. If you're applying for financial disadvantage, you'd complete the Educational Access Scheme application under any of those 4 codes that we just mentioned and submit supporting documentation as part of that process. What you then need to do is choose an E12 course that you're interested in, and the full list of all of our E12 courses is available on our website. And as I mentioned earlier, a few new ones have been added, including psychology. So go ahead and check those out. Have a look at what the E12 ATARs are for those courses as well. And check the course requirements. So check if there's anything additional that you need to do for that course. So do you need to submit a portfolio? Is there any interviews required? Do I need to do a mathematics prerequisite? Should I have studied mathematics advanced, or what are the options around that? So hop onto the website and check all those details as part of the application process as well. So then we come up to, I guess, today. So part of the E12 application is the supporting document. So that's the 3 questions that you need to answer, and that's what we're going to be covering in today's workshop. So I'll go through the 3 questions and just read them out now. And then later on, when we go into our breakout rooms, our student ambassadors and staff will be able to talk you through these 3 questions again and assist you further in answering them. So most importantly, the E12 applications are due on the 15th of September. So that includes uploading your responses to these 3 questions. So we've got plenty of time sort of between now and the 15th of September to draft and respond to these. So our first question is, other than your regular schoolwork, which of your activities or achievements have been most meaningful to you? So these could be sports, cultural, artistic, musical, community, or school leadership activities. Describe why it is important to you. Our second one is, describe an academic achievement you are most proud of. And the third one, tell us why you want to or are motivated to study the course you have chosen. So include any experience you have that may relate to this course. And if your chosen course has a major, please be specific and include any details about the area of interest. So important when you're going through the E12 website and looking at all of the courses that if you select one and you know what your major might be for that course, to pop that in as part of that question as well. So we'll come back to these in the second half of our workshop today. So our next steps in terms of how to apply. So you've drafted your questions and you're up to the stage of where do I submit my application. So again, you come onto the UAC website, you go onto your homepage and down to what's called the schools recommendation schemes. So that's at the bottom of the homepage. Basically, you click that and it takes you through to this page, which is SRS Apply, and it's basically got some instructions for how to apply. So how to upload your 3 E12 questions. So read through that, hit continue, and then you'll come to a page that looks like this. So basically, you need to select the correct institution, so the University of Sydney. And do you have a document to upload? Yes. So good idea to draft your responses into a Word document that you can then transfer over into this document. So basically, you just need to click here to download the supporting document. So put your answers to the questions in this document, and then you need to re-upload it into the portal and hit submit. So I'll just... So once you've done that, and before the 15th of September, make sure that you put the course you wish to be considered for under E12 as your first University of Sydney preference by 11:59 on the 15th of September 2022. So just remember that deadline, pop it in your diary, as well as uploading your responses to your 3 E12 questions. You also need to make sure that you have your E12 course that you wish to be considered for as your first University of Sydney preference. So that's really important and something to remember as well as you're going through and reading about all the E12 courses. So what happens next after you've done that? So basically you will receive confirmation of your application and the course that you've been assessed for. So you'll be notified basically on the course that you've been assessed for. So the one that you've put as your most eligible University of Sydney preference. So that will happen in early October. So then you sit your HSC, study really hard. You keep this course in your preference list for the SRS UAC round. So really important, keep it in your preference list. You'll then receive your conditional offer in UAC's SRS round, which is on the 11th of November. You then will receive your ATAR on the 15th of December. Following receiving your ATAR, basically then you'll need to check that you meet all the E12 ATAR and other course requirements. So again, having a look, making sure that if there's a mathematics prerequisite that you've met that and anything else. You'll then need to ensure that the course is listed as your highest eligible UAC preference by the 16th of December. So that's, again, having a look, making sure that it's listed as your highest UAC preference by the 16th of December. And then you receive your unconditional offer on the 22nd of December. So that is the UAC December round 2. Now, something important to note is you will have a chance to change your E12 course at the main round if you've met all the requirements, of the course that you're looking to transfer into, and there's a place available to you. So something really important to note as well. So it is dependent on course availability. So we've got a little bit of a timeline here. There's a lot of dates, so I'm going to try and summarize it my best for you and just pull out kind of what are the most important dates and things that you need to be aware of. So the 15th of September is obviously the most critical date. So that's when E12 closes and you need to have done a few things by that. So we'll just reconfirm. So making sure that your highest eligible University of Sydney preference is on your list of preferences before E12 closes on the 15th of September. So this is the preference that we will look at when considering your application. So by this date, you'll also need to have your 3 E12 questions uploaded and included in the portal. Alrighty, so the 3rd of November That's the conditional offer preference deadline. So ensure the course you've been successfully assessed for is listed in your UAC preferences. So you'll receive an email notifying you of this. So that's the 3rd of November. So on the 11th of November, that's when our conditional offers are released. So you'll see it's just there on the timeline. And then the 15th of December, so that's when ATARs are released. So during this time, check to make sure that you've met the ATAR and any other requirements for your E12 course. So at this point, you can change your course to a new course as long as you meet the E12 requirements and any other requirements of that new course. So the 16th of December, that's our main round offers preference deadline. So make sure that the E12 course you want most is listed as your highest eligible preference. And you can list multiple E12 courses in your preference list, and we'll make you an offer to the highest eligible course that you're eligible for. So those are the most important dates on this timeline. So just be aware of those, pop them in your calendar, and work towards those. Alrighty, so we're moving to the second half of our workshop, which is our Promote Yourself session. So basically, you'll have an opportunity now to meet with our student ambassadors and staff and talk through the 3 E12 questions. So they'll be able to guide you through some responses and how to answer these questions. So if you can be patient with us, what we're going to do is pop everyone into breakout rooms